And we are live with the 359 podcast on YouTube with Roger Cheng and Ben Fox Rubin.
Happy Tuesday, all.
Oh, thanks for the intro, man.
Nice intro.
I'm taking a note from Beecham's book.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Beach Town.
That definitely avoids me doing my awkward. Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
we're on
Sorry.
YouTube.
Yes. So we're going to be talking about a couple of things today. Apple's earnings are
Tonight.
They're tonight. They're later today,
Right.
or in the afternoon if you're on the West Coast.
Okay.
And big earnings day, actually. Verizon report earnings. We'll be talking a little bit about that.
We still care about earnings.
A little bit. Just a bit.
You do the most earnings out of everybody.
I do my share.
Try to keep busy.
I try to keep busy. And lastly, we've got a startup, Ava.
Wait, did you mention Verizon too?
Yes, I just mentioned Verizon.
My bad.
Like literally 30 seconds ago, right before you mentioned the whole earnings talk. Anyway.
I will shut up.
Lastly, we'll be talking about Ava, the startup that has a product that helps couples conceive.
Right.
It's basically
Come on, you can say
the pitch
line.
has always been the Fitbit for fertility, but that's
love
not
it.
really what it is. But it's
better. That sounds better than
summed up.
That sounds better than the Uber for X, like the Uber for getting pregnant. That sounds like you're just.
Oh no, that's way worse.
That would be extremely awkward.
That app is in development in SF right now, though.
I'm sure. That would be terrifying.
I guess that's Tinder, right?
Never
mind.
I guess that's true.
Never mind.
All right, and we're gonna heroically try to get through that story without getting extremely awkward and blushing.
Our CNET news intern Samantha Rhodes actually wrote the piece. She is busy, occupied with another assignment, so she couldn't jump on. But we're gonna do our best to try to talk about this story without blushing.
Right.
We'll see. And as always, if you have any questions about any of the topics today, or anything in general,
right.
Life, whatever, send them in the comments. Our producer Brian will shoot them over to us. We'll do our best to answer them.
Yeah, and I will say we had some really awesome questions yesterday about the Verizon Yahoo merger, so keep them coming. That
including
was definitely
the brand
interesting.
Of water that we drink.
Yeah, it's seltzer, buddy.
Yeah,
okay.
Seltzer. We're trying to class this place up. Sorry. All right, let's. You want to get started?
Ready.
Let's do it.
All right. Audio's rolling, and we are recording in 3, 2.
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech news of the day and all the other crap we want to throw in. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
So later today, Apple reports its fiscal third quarter results, and most folks are expecting gloom and doom. It already posted its first ever drop in iPhone sales in April, and we're expecting more negative news today. So Ben, has Apple already peaked?
Yeah, maybe, but does that really matter? I mean, they still make a ton of money. Why are we getting all downsy on Apple all of a sudden?
Apple is a sort of a broad indicator of how the market is going, right? If they're seeing declines in the smartphone market, you could sort of look at that as an indication that maybe people are just, as we've said many times, people are just getting bored with phones, right?
Right. I would agree with that. I'm going to take the other position on this to say that, Apple is still going to be making a ridiculous amount of money for years to come off of the iPhone. So maybe people just need to relax a little. I don't know.
Companies who tend to rest on their laurels, they get cobbled up by more nimble competitors down the line, right? That happens every time.
Come on. You really think that would happen with Apple?
No, but that's always the threat. I mean, look, if you asked about BlackBerry, 6 or 7 years ago, that was an inconceivable thought, right? Same with Nokia.
Okay, maybe I will be eating crow 6 or 7
6
years
or 7
from now.
years from now, yeah.
That is. I will admit that I cannot see the future that far in advance.
Why not? Come on, dude.
That's what we pay you for.
So, look, the other point here is Samsung actually they already have forecasted pretty strong profits. Their Galaxy S7 has been a certified hit. And it's doing really well. It kind of bucks the trend, the storyline that people are getting bored with phones. If people are snapping up Samsung phones, what's going on with Apple?
Well, they're giving – I feel like with Samsung, they've decided to give the customers what they want. And, they brought back water resistance. Right. They let you add more memory. Yeah, they did a bunch of things that were crowd pleasers. I feel like Apple hasn't really done that yet, and I wouldn't be too surprised if with its upcoming phone in September, it tries to do some of those things because – it doesn't have like many innovations expected. So why don't we try to like make people happy with these simple additions?
Yeah, we'll see. All right, next up, Verizon reported its second quarter results, and we might know now why it announced that Yahoo deal on Monday. Distract us from the poor results it reported today.
Yeah, and this is a continuation of what we were talking about with phones, right? That like, Verizon didn't add that many more customers.
Well, specifically, it added 86,000 net new phone customers this quarter. That's less than half of what Sprint added just yesterday.
Oh, that's so painful.
That's
for Verizon.
pretty sad, right? If
that stinks. If
Sprint is outdoing you, yikes. Actually, it was pretty funny. I was on the conference call, and the Verizon CEO kind of threw some shade at Sprint when, Sprint's got those. They've got the. Can you hear me now? Guy.
Yeah, their pitch man.
And basically he was throwing shade at that ad. Can you see me now is the new reality. It's not can you hear me now, and the whole idea of voice quality is a little antiquated. So throw some shade saying like if you've got to sell your product at half off, then maybe there's something wrong with your product.
Okay.
A little aggressive.
Aggressive. All right, good for you, Lowell. Last, Ava, a Swiss startup on Tuesday, that's today, started shipping a almost $200 bracelet that tracks a woman's fertility cycle. And yes, I realize this is two men talking about this.
Yep.
And helps her figure out the optimal time to conceive. My feeling on this is that this thing went through clinical trials.
Yep.
This thing is FDA approved.
Mm-hmm.
This might be one of the new types of wearables that is actually useful for something as opposed to just some trinket that you spend too much money on.
I do wonder what the longevity of something like this is. Like basically you wear it to get pregnant, and once you're pregnant, why do you need to wear this thing again?
Yes. Yeah. Maybe it should convert into a parenting tips bracelet afterwards or something.
Apparently,
if it works.
It does track enough data that it could conceivably be used for other health monitoring services down the line, but they're really focusing on the fertility thing. And look, it's definitely an issue that even young couples deal with. I mean, it took us a while, not us like you and me, but my wife and I, a little while to make a baby. But this is something that we might have looked into if it dragged on for a long time.
It's a steep cost for most people, by the way. $200.
Yeah.
I mean, it continues to show that wearable market still needs to cut down some of their costs.
No, it's definitely a great point. Want to know more about these stories? Check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Cheng.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
And thanks, everyone, for joining us on YouTube. Looking for your questions and comments. Would anyone out there use the Fitbit for fertility?
The Ava bracelet.
The Ava bracelet.
I mean, we used a low-tech version of that when we were doing it.
Wait,
that works on so many levels.
What was your low-tech version?
It's the pee on the stick thing. Yeah,
she mentions that's sort of that's the go-to method right now.
So I didn't actually realize that there's a newer version of pee on a stick.
There is.
Which is Sam mentions this in the story. It's the Clear Blue fertility monitor, which, I'm going to read this from the story, requires women to urinate on a stick, which is linked to a handheld device that records the data points. Okay, so
hopefully that stick is nowhere near the smartphone.
You're just going to have to pee on the smartphone eventually.
Well, you know what? We do that with our baby. We've got a thermostat or a thermometer that hooks into our phone via the audio jack.
Is it a butt thermometer?
Yeah, it's a butt thermometer.
Oh my God, I would not use that product.
It comes with an extra long cord, so you can sort of hold the phone up here.
Oh,
the thermometer.
Okay.
It's not it's not literally
it's right not right up against your
because we definitely could have had issues with it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, look, we already have 3 kids, and we had surprise.
So you have no interest
twins.
in this product at all.
No, but when we were first trying to, have our first kid, there's obviously a lot of uncertainty and trepidation.
Oh yeah.
Be is this going to work? Whatever. And so we did the pee on the stick thing, and I really, really don't think that we would have coughed up $200, but if you're kind of further along in the process and you're ready to try some more things and you want to be a little bit more aggressive about it, I can see some people might actually want to try doing something like this.
So here's the deal with the fertility. Apparently, according to Sam, every given month you've got a window of about 6 days where you're fertile, and this bracelet is supposed to show the 5.3 days that you're fertile. That's 89% accuracy. That's apparently the biggest window.
That's their claim.
That's their claim. That's 89%. The biggest window provided by any of these products. And there are a number of these out there. This is, I think, the first kind of wearable, but it's if it promises you a larger window to make a baby, then for some folks especially for folks who have a lot of disposable income, that might be worth it.
Yeah.
Let's swing the conversation back over to Apple.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know.
We've got questions and comments. Of course, we got listeners and fans on both sides of the fence regarding Apple, but specifically, they're really curious about the sales and how the iPhone is doing specifically, and stemming from that, how much can we actually give away about what's coming with the iPhone 7?
Okay, with the iPhone 7, the expectation is that they're going to get rid of the
with the
audio jack, which may make it more water resistant.
Yes.
So, and that's really the only major rumor that's
wireless charging. I thought wireless charging was kind of thrown in.
Tell me.
It's a rumor that's always thrown in the mix. We don't know what's coming in the iPhone 7.
Well, the headset,
we haven't seen
jack.
Apple hasn't talked to us. They don't talk to us actually.
Especially about the iPhone. Like they're not gonna go and start leaking stuff about their
they only
new
do
iPhone.
That. Yeah.
But it's expected to be pretty ho-hum. They're going to get rid of the headset jack.
I think the changes are pretty superficial, or they're not superficial. I'm sorry. It's
pretty minor.
They're minor, yeah. Given the fact that it's already kind of it's in decline mode at this point, I don't know if an iPhone 7 that's only modestly improved will actually be able to turn itself around. Maybe, I don't know. I talked to the executives of the carriers, Verizon, Sprint, AT&T, and all of them are very conservative about their projections for phone sales
for this year.
For this year, they're not entirely. I mean, they wouldn't say it specifically, but they're all kind of hedging their bets. They're not really sure if this is going to have the same kind of impact that say the iPhone 6 did 2 years back when it was full redesign. Which was a full redesign, a full refresh of the product.
So here's the thing. There are rumors that there are supposed to be some really significant improvements in next year's model, and that's what they're saving for the 10th anniversary iPhone. Right. And they might even not call it the iPhone 7S. Maybe they'll just call it the iPhone X or the iPhone 10 or something like that. But I'm a little skeptical about that because I'm kind of just wait until next year. It's a bit of a bridge too far.
Look, the quality of the publications that have sort of reported on that rumor are fairly reliable. So
sure.
I'm willing to bet that's the case. This is Apple kind of quietly setting expectations at a more modest level for this year with hopes that things are going to get bigger next year. That might be it.
If they're going to make people wait, they're going to make people wait a whole nother year.
Right.
It better be good.
Well, look, I think it's sort of the reality of what's going on in the component world, right? Chip-wise, processor-wise, they don't have the physical components ready this year. I think a lot of that's going to be ready for next year. That's why everyone's waiting for that big push. There's all that talk about Moore's Law sort of collapsing, right?
I can't get away from chips even if I wanted to.
I know. It's happening with PCs, right? There isn't a significant refresh of a processor this year, so you're not seeing a lot of new products, like new laptops or tablets, that are significantly better because the chip isn't significantly better either.
Do you think this is fair? If you can wait another year for your iPhone, you probably should. Would you agree with that statement?
I've been telling people that.
Okay.
Unless you're like me and you just need to have the newest thing.
No. So. I'm going to wait.
Well, I've got one of those trading programs, so I'm just going to trade mine in. And
I can look at your phone.
There you go. I could sprinkle water on it. Hopefully it is water resistant. I kind of like that. I like that idea. Kids can drop it in the toilet or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
What else you got, Brian?
Armando thinks that they are skipping the S model for the iPhone 7 because the next iPhone is on the 10th anniversary, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we just said that. Yep. So nicely done, Armando.
There you go. Showing some knowledge.
And that's kind of about it. More people arguing about whether Apple is a good company or not. And
Apple, bottom line, Apple is, it's a successful company. It's a hugely successful company.
Well, not according to you on the podcast. You were like, they could get snatched up in a number of years.
Hey, the now is definitely still successful, but you have to look to the future, right? If it's a company that doesn't continue to innovate, starts to die off, we'll see competition.
I think it's true. And we've been sitting during Apple days being like, what did they just announce? What was that innovation? They just called it the iPad Pro Plus Mini. And
right.
It's the same product as last year.
Yeah.
With a pencil.
Yeah. You're taking.
So I get that.
You're basically taking existing successful products and you're either enlarging them or shrinking them. I mean, that's not really innovation.
No.
And Brian's laughing. What is so funny, Brian?
Because Goosemeister's pulling lines from Mad Max. Notice me, Ben. Witness me.
Oh my God. That's a Mad Max reference.
Ben?
No, the witness me thing.
Witness me.
I don't remember that.
You have a fan.
All the what are those? The War Boys.
The War Boys.
The War Boys always chant that when they're about to
when they spray the thing in their face.
Yeah.
Say hi to Goosemeister.
Hi, Goosemeister.
There you go.
Is that because I said Armando's name? That's probably what happened.
That might be.
I think everyone's going to start calling
Ben, can you say my handle, please?
All right, who wants the Ben Fox Rubin blessing next?
Akrem wants to know, well, he says that he heard a rumor that the next iPhone will be the iPhone 6 SE.
No.
With no warrant to that.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, that sounds kind of funny.
That sounds like a silly
Well,
name.
I mean, there's the iPhone SE, right? There's the small version.
That would kind of confuse people a little too much.
Yeah,
if they did an iPhone 6
it's
SE.
not. I don't think it's going to be the next one. I imagine there'll be a refresh of the SE, which will be, I don't know.
Also terrible.
Yeah.
Or also whatever you already saw before.
It'll fill a particular gap in their product portfolio.
Look, if they don't call it the iPhone 7, you're basically signaling to everybody, don't buy this phone.
Yeah.
So
except for me, who's stuck on a plan where I trade my phone every year. I'm like,
you're a tech reporter or tech editor, so you're very specific customer.
I am.
What about? Do you think the iPhone 7 will be waterproof?
I do think that's very realistic.
Wait, waterproof? It will probably. It could be water resistant, but it's not going to be waterproof.
I mean, there were rumors that the 6S was technically waterproof. No one actually really bothered to test it.
Oh my God, you gotta love Apple rumors.
But I don't know. It was early on.
No. Just like rumors about Apple, but very funny.
I would love to see it waterproof. I mean, even if it's slightly waterproof, I think the Galaxy S7 is. So why can't the iPhone be waterproof?
We're getting very close to September,
and it's already sealed off. There's no. You don't really have to.
Well, that's the point of getting rid of the headphone jack, is that they're justifying no dust, whatever.
Exactly.
Heat. What about sizes? Do you think there will be a 256 gigabyte version?
Okay.
Ooh.
Actually, that's interesting that was mentioned because I think there was a rumor in the last week or two that they were going to have a super duper sized iPhone.
Yeah.
Where it was going to be what the hell would they call that thing?
What do you mean? What would they call it?
Well, what is it? It's they would call it the Plus Pro or something like that. But I think they were talking about actual gigs in the phone. But I think they were talking about the idea that you would have. Yeah, they would have an even bigger phablet of the iPhone 7.
I can't imagine that happening. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be the two standard sizes that we have now.
Okay.
But I can't easily see them offering a 256 gig. Phone version. Memory is super cheap now. They make money hand over fist with those those higher capacity phones because it doesn't cost them that much, but they're jacking up the price for it. It's
they make you pay $100.
Yeah, it doesn't cost them $100, so it totally makes sense. I really want to see them just drop the 16 gig version. I mean, that's just a complete ripoff at this point. For anyone.
My brother accidentally bought one of those. I was like, why didn't you talk to me first?
Yeah, that's a big mistake.
And I was stuck with it for 2 years.
It's okay for my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. But if you use your phone in any kind of normal way, 16 gigs is just not enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 16.
I'm sorry.
Oh God, Brian.
Really? Do you just constantly delete photos and videos from your phone?
I just don't have a lot on my phone. I don't use it for much more than streaming podcasts and taking calls.
No. All right. You don't even take photos?
Not many.
He doesn't have a lot of friends.
It's true.
That's why he hangs out with us.
I know.
All my friends are Pokemons in the Go.
All right. We should definitely wrap things up.
Yeah, we should wrap it up. That was a good show.
Hi, Goosemeister.
Yeah, hey, Goosemeister.
Hey, there you go.
Right on.
Goose.
Let's see.
Goose, Armando, Randall. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you all for your time and your questions. Love the feedback. If you liked anything you saw or heard here, you can check us out on CNET.com. Also, our podcast is available on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and Feedburner.
Nice.
I got it.
You got it down.
We're not even congratulating you anymore.
It only took me 50 episodes to figure that out.
50.
Okay, 60, 70, 80. 80 episodes. All right. See you all tomorrow.
Cool.